What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dangerous Farmer channel. Today I wanted to talk about cover and concealment and the three things that you need to know in order to be able to effectively use it. Number one, what is it? What is cover? What is concealment? Number two, how do they behave in relation to each other? Number three, and this is the surprising thing I'm going to let you know at the very end, you stick around to the end, this is what you're going to find really interesting about cover and concealment. So, number one, what is cover? Well, cover is something that you can hide behind, and it is ballistic protection. It's protection that's going to keep you from getting shot. It conceals you and it protects you. So the simplest way that I have to do this, I'm not going to shoot my engine bay on my truck. The simplest way that I have to describe this today is these steel targets right down here. Obviously the bullets aren't going through. That would be cover. Some examples of that would be a stone pillar, a big stone pillar like a monument might have if you're in cities, or a statue, or large trees, even smaller trees if depending on the rifle or the pistol that you're going up against. The engine block on your car could be considered cover. It conceals you and it protects you. If you were hiding behind this and having to shoot over it or around it, this engine bay will typically most likely stop bullets. Now the problem is this isn't cover or concealment. If somebody's looking under here and sees you, that'd be a bad place to take one and could liably put you, or very likely put you out of the fight. Number two, what is concealment? Well, concealment's very similar to cover. Concealment would be something similar to my range barrel, my little shooting stand here that I stage everything off of. It's got some holes in it already from shooting it with a shotgun. It would 100% just be considered cover. It would 100% just be considered concealment. You can hide behind this. Oh, we're out. Didn't even notice. And shoot around this, but you are 100% gonna take a round if it comes through. That, in essence, is concealment. So you just got to be careful how you're using them and know the differences between each. If you're just in concealment, you might need to think about getting to cover pretty quickly. But here's the cool thing. Here's number three. If you especially, now this probably mostly is in reference to dummies and thugs in a gas station robbery, that sort of thing. And I can't say that this is 100% across the board, but if you watch a lot of security cameras during shootings and that sort of thing, cover and concealment can be used in very similar manners, because assuming you're up against a straight up dummy that's not thinking about it, if they don't see you, they may not think they can hit you.
Cover stops bullet, concealment doesn't, right? So can you treat them the same? You could probably take a pretty decent statistical gamble and pretend that cover is concealment in many instances. This is what we found after watching a whole bunch of gunfights in civilian and law enforcement contexts. The bad guy generally will not attempt to shoot through concealment because they want line of sight.
If you know the difference between cover and concealment, you can shoot through concealment that they think is cover and take somebody out without being as exposed as if it was just mano-a-mano Mexican standoff in a room and you're both just standing there. All right, guys, so we've talked a little bit about the differences between cover and concealment. Now let's talk about how to maneuver around them in order to be able to deliver effective fire with minimal risk to ourselves being shot. Let's move some hay bales around with the truck real quick so that we can kind of get the range squared up to where I can show you. I'll set you guys up over behind the targets so you can see kind of what it looks like to be shot at and who you would prefer to be shot at by. Nothing like a little vintage horsepower, baby. So I want you guys to tell me who you would rather be shot by. I'm gonna do kind of two different portrayals here. And the thing to remember is that sneaky isn't sneaky. So what do I mean by that? I'll show you. Sneaky. Who would you rather be fighting? The sneaky guy or this guy? Sneaky is not sneaky. You want to make sure you pop out of cover, hold that ground, because if you pop out, see the bad guy take a shot at him, he's going to be ducking back behind cover, and if you jump behind cover again because you're scared, you lost the ground that you just gained. That's not a good thing. The main thing to remember, sneaky isn't sneaky. That is one of the main things. The second thing you need to remember is your LOAs, limits of advance. Let's imagine there's an imaginary line going right down this thing, and that's what is separating can't see from can see. You don't want to telegraph your position coming out of this cover by letting people know you're coming. That was a telegraph. My foot was just a telegraph right there, letting people know which side I'm coming out from. If you're playing a game of whack-a-mole with somebody else that's using cover, hope to God they don't know how to use it like you need to know how to use it. LOA's limit of advance. Don't break your limit of advance when you're leaning out from behind cover. The only thing they need to see is an eyeball and a muzzle. You don't want to flag any more of yourself outside of cover than you have to. If you're popping out on the right-hand side, maybe you don't need to show up in that position next time. Do you want to fight the guy that's slow, sneaky? Or the guy who's going to pop out randomly and you don't know where he's coming from? So guys, a quick little video summary here. Cover stops bullets. Concealment does not stop bullets. Bad guys want line of sight. They want to be able to see you in order to be able to shoot at you in most situations. So learn to use cover and concealment effectively, and it's liable to come in handy one of these days. Hopefully it never does. If it never does, being out here on the range is a whole lot of fun. Go down in the comments and let me know what you think. I really appreciate constructive criticism. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It's a little small sacrifice to pay to the algorithm overlords. Maybe we can take this channel somewhere, and I'd really like to take you guys along with me for the ride. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.